welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I wanted to give some tips for anybody that's starting Tretinoin or just generally wants to have some tips to go by. So these are tips that I have obviously gathered through research, through mistakes that I've made. I have a whole video on the mistakes I've made using Tretinoin. Within the first few months I pretty much messed up a lot, but that's helped me to learn a lot more and to better my routine and to understand Tretinoin a lot better, and I just wanted to share that with you. By no means am I an expert or saying that you have to do these things. I'm just throwing out some tips that might be helpful to you and hopefully can make your use of Tretinoin a bit better as well. So if you're new here, I do new skincare videos every Sunday. A lot of them revolve around my Tretinoin journey and updates on how that's going. At the moment, I'm 6 months in and I have done my 6-month update, which I will link down below. If you like those kind of videos, then please subscribe. I have a load of them and loads more coming. So let's just get straight into the video. Okay, I have my list here because I didn't want to forget anything. And one of the first things that pretty much everyone talks about, so I won't go into huge detail because you might already know this, but just don't rush. Just seriously, do not rush it. I did it and I totally regret it. It was unnecessary. The reason I rushed it was because I was out of work at the time and I thought, you know what, while I'm at home, while I'm in this time, I might as well just up my usage, peel and then be done with it. But it doesn't really work like that. It just essentially gives you more skin irritation and more issues to deal with. I think my purge, which I'll get onto later, was worse than it needed to be, probably because I irritated my skin a lot more. So just don't rush it in general. If you want to start at a faster rate, then I would just recommend, at least in the first 2 months, you know, start with once or twice a week, or of course just follow whatever your dermatologist has said because they can see your skin in person. My next tip is to up your moisturization game, like majorly, because we all moisturize, right, and we're all pretty good at it, but only when I started using Tretinoin did I realize that I could be moisturizing so much more than I was, and that's when I started using hyaluronic acid. Now hyaluronic acid isn't for everybody. It can be irritating to some skin, and with any product recommendation, there's always a doubt that this might not work for me. I'm not saying this is going to work for you, but I just recommend that hyaluronic acid, you know, it's designed to hold 1,000 times its weight in water. It's a humectant. It's there to bind water to the skin, keep everything in, and really lock in moisture. So if you want to up your moisturization game, that's something that you could look into, and it's something that really helped me when using Tretinoin because my skin dried out a lot. And I started to really look into my moisturizers. My skin took it well, but it differs. For example, I actually started niacinamide. My hyaluronic acid is by The Ordinary, and I started niacinamide by The Ordinary, but my skin can't handle the niacinamide. It just makes it more irritated. However, that doesn't mean that I would not say to other people, you know, don't try it. Try it at your own will. You know, it's for you to decide. It's for you to discover what works with your skin. Niacinamide, again, is a great ingredient. However, it doesn't work for everyone. So, you know, that's a shame for me, but hey ho, I gave it a go. And yeah, up in your moisturization game in terms of trying out different moisturizers. Can you get away with a rich, creamy one, or do you need more of a lotion or a gel that's still very hydrating? For me, that's been going to the expert aisle, which is expert skin. In terms of how that differs from the other skin is they tend to have a lot more research on these things, and they're specifically designed for irritated skin, skin that's red and sore. People with eczema use these kind of creams. But yet this is simple, you know, E45 cream, for example, I've been using on my body for ages, and you're able to use it on your skin and it can have the same benefits of repairing that barrier and the skin lipids and all that stuff that has just been destroyed by Tretinoin. Not completely destroyed, but you know what I mean. It's really compromising those aspects of your skin, and you've got to be ensuring that you are putting some goodness back in and not just constantly stripping your skin. So my third tip is about skin irritation. My tip to anybody that's starting it is to really think, okay, hold on, what is going to irritate my skin? Because Tretinoin is going to do that more than you ever need. You don't need to irritate your skin, but what I'm saying is that's going to do all the irritation that your skin can cope with. So you need to find ways that you can still do what you need to do, but gentle as possible. For me, that's been exfoliating with just my fingers. Beforehand, I used to use a flannel. I would use a spin brush, and they were too harsh. So really consider what could irritate your skin and take out as much of that as you can. My tip number 4 is quite cliche, I'm not gonna lie, but good things take time, and tretinoin does take time. And I've said in my updates, you know, I wanted more results and I wanted them now. As a modern day girl, you know, we can tend to expect things instantly. We've got Amazon Prime and all this kind of stuff, and things can come quickly. But when it comes to skincare, tretinoin is going to take some time, and you're not going to see insane results, but you will see results and you will see your skin healing. So just give it some time, because it does take a bit of time, but it's so worth it. Okay, we're just going to pause it right there because apparently I forgot how to count. I missed out tip number 5. So tip number 5 is that you should be wearing your sunscreen no matter what, no matter the weather. You need to be wearing SPF 30 at least to protect your skin when using tretinoin. Tretinoin makes your skin very sensitive to the sun along with other acne medications, and you need to ensure that you are wearing sunscreen to protect it as much as you can. Okay, so my 6th tip, am I number 6? Yes. My 6th tip is that tretinoin might not work alone, and you might need to consider what else you can use alongside it, because there are many products and actives that you can use alongside it. So be it that you use it in the morning and then your tretinoin in the evening, and just not one after the other. But for me, I went back to benzoyl peroxide. I even tried my salicylic acid again, and you know, now I'm in my zinc soap, which makes me sound crazy, like I've tried loads of different things, but for me it's been, you know, over 6 months, and it's just a matter of fact that tretinoin might not be enough to cure your acne, for example. You might need something else to help with the inflammatory acne that's appearing, or anything else that's going on with your skin. You can include other products. You don't have to solely rely on tretinoin. Okay, tip number 7 is, it's a tough one because the purge is different for everybody. We purge different amounts. I've had people comment on my video being like, this is the most I've ever seen someone purge. It differs from person to person, but all I can say is the purge for me was horrible. It genuinely was. My skin literally went backwards to now be going forwards. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's getting better now and my skin is more radiant and glowing and looks healthier than it is, but it's dealing with a lot more marks and things thanks to the purge, thanks to the more acne that I was given because of tretinoin. However, it is a normal process and I have stuck it through. If I can, I know you guys can, because honestly, it is tough and it is hard to see your skin getting worse and worse and thinking, what am I doing wrong? Why is this happening to me? And it can be mentally draining and just hurt your self-esteem, and I totally get it. But if you can pull through, you will see your skin get better. Your breakouts will be much less, and it differs for everybody, but my tip here is to be prepared for it. If you're starting tretinoin or you just started, know that that is probably going to come, that more acne and a worsening condition of your skin may happen, and that you're going to take it on the chin and you're going to deal with it day on day. Sometimes be a bit annoyed about it or a bit sad, that's okay, but generally your skin is healing and this is part of the process. That's a good mindset to keep. And if you are purging, please watch my video on purging, because it is a difficult time and I do feel for people going through it. I've been there, I've done it, it's not fun. Sometimes you need a bit of a pep talk, which is what that video basically is. Tip number 8 is one that's quite controversial. Some people say to do it, some people say I don't like to do it. So it's totally up to you and what you want to do based on your own research. So essentially, tretinoin, in the instructions, it literally says use on a dry, cleansed face. So you'd cleanse your face, you'd leave it a while to dry fully, and then you put your tretinoin on. But for some people, including myself, that can be really, really drying, and it can cause a lot of irritation, and your skin just feels even more dry because you've left it dry after cleansing, and it's just not the best feeling, and your skin feels more and more dry. So obviously, because that's in the instructions, that's how it should be used technically. Should be used. But when you moisturize your skin after cleansing and then leave some time in between that, your skin has time to take up some moisture, build itself back up a little bit, and then you put the tretinoin on. Now, some people don't like doing that because it can actually drive the tretinoin deeper into the skin, and then that's where there's a debate, you know, well, don't you want that, or is it bad? Science, and you might not want it being driving deeper than you think it should be. So that's for you to make the decision. And for me, I decided to do it because my skin just honestly needed what we call a buffer. It needed a buffer, which is what that moisturising layer gives it. And that's why a lot of people call it buffering, because you let your skin buffer before you then put this tretinoin on that's gonna irritate the hell out of it, you know? It's really helpful. And I kind of wish I'd done that from the beginning. I think I would have had less redness and less peeling in the first few months. But you live and you learn, you know. I learned from that and I've just been buffering ever since. So quite simply, those are my top 8 tips for anybody starting tretinoin, has just started tretinoin, or just wants some general tips. You know, I try not to repeat everything that's online, but a lot of these are quite repetitive because they are core tips when you're using tretinoin. So if you've just come across this video, I hope it is helpful for you. If you found it helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Or if you enjoyed this kind of video, then subscribe, because I have these kind of videos every Sunday. I love making them. I love reading people's comments about the tretinoin or whatever they're using for their skin. If you have any questions, leave them down below and I'll get back to you guys. So yeah, that completes this video. I will see you in my next one next Sunday. Bye.